Hold you long. I was just thinking, though, in the work world, you get on a job, you're used to doing things, You form a habit. Now, I heard about this evangelist. He got a spare time job at the beach in the beach house as a lifeguard. And he sat up there and watched people if anybody's got in trouble. Well, this guy got out there. He held up his hand. He's screaming. He's sinking down. He said, "I see that hand." He carried it on over. Well, we'll stop on that one. Get a little more serious here. I'm always serious. I've got Sirius XM in the car. Carry it around with me. I want to preach for a moment tonight about the second seal, and that comes right after the first one that was opened, and we preached on that last time about the white horse that came, and he was all dolled up and trying to look like Jesus on a white horse and trying to get people to follow him, and he did. And then the white horse came as a deceiver, but he also, in his heart, he came to kill and to destroy and to conquer. But people couldn't see that. This is the first 3.5 years of the tribulation. And so they all were looking for somebody, and he was smart, and got the worldly wisdom. And people nowadays are following more after worldly wisdom than they are the wisdom of God. And the worldly wisdom is an enemy to the in one sense, because they have figured out there is no God. They've figured out that God didn't make the sun, the moon, and the stars and all of that. But the bottom line is they're lying to you. God did make all that, but they're looking for peace on earth. All the leaders say they're looking for peace, but yet everybody's at war. That doesn't make sense, does it? Well, the reason these people are looking for peace when this white horse comes, it's after the Spirit of God has been taken from the earth, and the white horse come deceiving himself, because I've heard this preached, that this was Jesus. This wasn't Jesus. Jesus will come back on another white horse, and he won't deceive anybody, but he'll bring with him enough people to prove that he's not a deceiver. This man only has one, and he can't prove that, but he's smart enough to trick the people. Now the second seal, and when he, Christ, had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast, living creature, he's a living creature, saying, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red. It's a symbol of war, and power was given to him who sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Now, that proclaims the fact, the great sword, more people will be killed in this war that's coming with the red horse than probably was ever in any battle or war that was ever known. Because if you'll notice, the Antichrist came riding in on a white horse. And so what happens, he gets people together. All the churches are spiritualists. They don't have any spirit in the church. They all go for a false doctrine, thinking that they're doing a great thing, when all the churches, what's left on earth, that are practicing religion today, they're practicing going to church and all, but they're not saved. They didn't know Jesus Christ. And the resurrection has come. Jesus has come back. What living people were upon earth that are saved were caught up to meet him in the air. What the dead people will rise first, all that are saved. And they were caught up to meet him, and they went up first, the rest were caught up. But still, this is the same rider on the red horse as it was on the white horse. It's the Antichrist. He's just changed tunes. And the first 3.5 years of the tribulation, there will be people coming together, and this prophet, the Antichrist, he will be so strong in his wisdom and so sly in his knowledge that he will be the one world leader of everybody. And everybody thinks, oh boy, the stores are flowing full, money is flowing, everything is going great, and they all worship this leader. But he didn't come to bring peace. He didn't come, as you noticed, he come to conquer and to kill. But in order to do that, he had to wear many hats in order to do that, but it's still the Antichrist. And so he gets all the people in this tizzy, then boy, this is great. Did you ever see somebody get caught up in something, these Ponzi schemes, and they lose all their money because it looks so great? They put $100,000 and so on. I see it sometimes, they'll show it on television, and they'll trace down the people that did it and how they did it. And anything that's got a pyramid scheme to it, didn't leave it alone. But that's about what their Antichrist has got. He makes the plural believe that he's got everything, but yet he has nothing but hate and detest for everybody on the face of the earth in his heart. And so therefore, when this comes after 3.5 years, and things begin to change, his personality changes, and his way of doing things change. And all of a sudden, he has in his heart, I want to be a different kind of ruler than what people think I am. That's exactly what's going on in the Mideast today. There were rulers that were brought in by the people, like Iran and all those countries and Syria, and they thought that Assad was a great ruler. But now he's killing the people by the thousands. He's poison gas and everything else. But they thought he was the greatest man ever was when Assad took over Syria. But when he took over Syria, everything was great. But then came that power of envy and so on in his heart that he wasn't satisfied with Syria, as Saddam Hussein wasn't satisfied where he was, and the man in Iran, in what used to be Persia, is Iran, is not satisfied. He wants to grab out and get more and get more. When South and North Korea was divided after World War II, at a meeting at Yalta, President Roosevelt, Stalin, and Churchill, they all got together and they divided up, you might say, the spoil. They divided up Japan, they divided up Vietnam, they divided up West and East Germany, and so the United States got the democracy side and they got the communist side. And so therefore, the communist is a spirit in people that they think they're so right and they want to be in power so much that they will do anything at any length and don't care who dies. They're heartless, they're cold, they're indifferent. They don't even care about their own children or their own people. Now that's a type of Antichrist that's in the world today. That's the spirit of the Antichrist doing this horrible thing. This nut that's over in North Korea got the nuclear power. He doesn't care if he wipes out every child. He doesn't care if he wipes out every man, every woman, who it is, just as long as he can be in power. If he gets killed, there's somebody else to step up and take his place. And that is exactly what the Antichrist does to get there. And people shout and praise him for 3.5 years. He's the greatest person we ever had. He's better than any president, better than any king, and they worship him literally to the face of the earth.